I'm Dr. Patty Hlava, and I teach here in the PhD program and then also in the Master's in Clinical Counseling program. And there's something really unique about being able to teach in the clinical counseling program here, because I've had the opportunity to teach clinical counseling at other universities as well. And a lot of what I think is different here that Sofia does very differently is it really embodies the whole person perspective to counseling. It focuses not just on diagnosing a person, but how to see the person, how to treat the person, and also how to care for yourself as a therapist. And this is something that's neglected in so many other schools. This space of what it means to be a therapist, to be a person who's holding space for someone else who's going through something very real and very human. And whether that carries a diagnosis or not, how we can show up for that non-judgmentally, in full compassionate presence, to create space for healing. So we teach not just the clinical skills of how to walk someone through their challenges, but also how to be in the body and space of a therapist. Well, I think, for example, in one of the classes that I teach in the counseling program is the clinical applications of meditation and mindfulness. And it's a class that spans in person and online and spans time. So one of the things that's really beautiful about teaching clinical applications of meditation and mindfulness is that we understand that meditation and mindfulness is not only a spiritual practice, but that it has a dimension that can be brought into the therapy space. And in so doing, one of the things I work with my students on is they get to develop their own personal practice, and it's as important as the clinical work. So they're doing their own practice, developing that, and exploring the challenges of what it looks like to develop your own personal practice, develop the habits of that, and how that then supports them as a clinician. So we're looking at meditation not just from, oh, let's write about it and study it, but let's do it, see how it affects my life personally. How does it affect my life as a clinician? How does it affect my ability to be in space with a client? And then also, how do I work with it with clients in specific diagnoses, specific symptom clusters, or specific age groups? So for example, working with meditation with children might look different than working with someone who is maybe in late adulthood working with depression. So we really look at the whole spectrum of that, so that personal practice and personal reflection is as important as the clinical application. So that gets really exciting. I get excited about it, and I actually get to teach that this weekend, so I'm really excited about it. The other part of that, one of the things that I have the opportunity to work with my students on is also how to lead a meditation and how to guide a client. So we actually spend a lot of time learning specific skills in how to structure a meditation, how to watch the person and respond to them, so that you're not just reading a script, but that you're co-creating a meditation in real time with the client based on the responses and physical feedback that you're receiving as you're watching the client. So in tuning into the body and the space between the clinician and the therapist. So we spend a lot of time in person practicing that, so they get the felt sense of it. So when they go into therapy with their clients, they've already had the chance to practice, so that they're not as nervous going in and saying, I have to only go by script. So they don't have that. They go in prepared. And so that's another piece that's really exciting.